together right now over me.
I'm Troy Sage.
I'm Andrew Smith, and here we are again.
Here we are.
You know, one of the things that we talked about recently was qualifying a seller to do a short sale. And what we really went into on that was the fact that there has to be a need to sell and not just a want to sell.
Wait, you're confusing me. Qualifying a seller? I mean, as an agent, especially as a new agent, I get a phone call from a seller that says, I got to sell my house, and I'm hightailing out to that house to get that listing, right?
Yeah, exactly. But if it's a short sale situation, you may be spinning your wheels. You know?
Well, I'm a new agent. I don't care. I want that listing. I got to get my sign out in that front yard.
Well, what are you going to do with the sign once it's in the front yard?
And then hopefully someone's going to call me and I'm going to get a buyer and sell that house.
Well, how are you going to sell that house if you're not going to get approved?
I don't know. Why don't you explain this to me, because I'm confused.
So here's what we're going to do. One of the things is, as we've talked about before, there's got to be a need to sell. And there needs to be a demonstrated hardship. And if you go to our website, s2neg.com, you'll actually find a link. And we've actually put the 16 most common hardships up on that site. What we're actually going to talk about today is when you get that phone call, what some of the questions are that you should be going through with that seller. What's some of the information that you're going to want to find out in advance to know if that's a property you even want to make the drive out to.
Like, besides their hardship, we want to know a little bit of history, right?
We've got to get a little bit of history. You know, when did you buy that property? You know, who's the mortgage lender on it? How many loans do you have on it? What was the original purchase price? You know, when you start asking some of those questions, especially if you're an agent that knows your market, you're going to start to get some feedback from that seller that's going to start to give you an idea. If they tell you they bought the home in 2005, 2006, 2007, and you know they bought it using a pay option arm or a no money down loan, and they tell you what neighborhood it's located
Sorry,
in.
that just freaks me out whenever you say those phrases. Like,
I know.
are you breathing? Here's the money. Take the money. And now they're, oh, it's the bank's fault. But anyways, I don't want to get on that tangent.
Exactly. We'll get going all day long.
Freaking out.
And I don't have the Valium with me today.
No.
So the thing is with that is they're going to start giving you some information where you're going to have an idea. Okay, we've probably got an upside down homeowner here, but there's more information than that you need to know. So for instance, as we just said, who the mortgage lender is, you want to get an idea because that's going to tell you the type of process that you might be looking at, whether it can be cooperative, when that sale could be initiated. The other thing that's really important is you want to know who's on the loan, and you also want to know who's on title.
Right, because somebody could be on the loan, but not on title. Or
Correct.
vice versa.
Or vice versa.
Right.
You may have a situation where, what if they had a co-signer? You know, so now all of a sudden you're thinking, okay, we may have a short sale here based on what they said, but mom and dad co-signed and they got millions of bucks and they're not too happy that you're not making
or even 40 or 50, or maybe they don't have anyone, but they don't want to participate in the short sale.
Yeah, they're not going to release their financials because the important thing is here is whoever's on that loan has to participate in the short sale. So you need to make sure that all of those parties are willing to cooperate and they're willing to provide the information.
Right, and who's ever on title eventually has to sign off
on the listing.
On the sale of that property. They're going to have to sign over a grant deed so that it can be processed while we're in escrow.
Exactly. So you need to know all of that information. You do have situations that have occurred, and the one reason that's so important is what if you have a husband and wife on title, but they're separated? Husbands, you know...
Like really separate, not like separated, one sleeping downstairs, one upstairs.
Yeah, no, we're talking really separated.
Out.
Yeah, we're talking, you know, secretary, back of the motorcycle, with him, gone, down the road. You don't know where he is, but he's on title. You have a serious problem. There's no way to sell that house. You don't have someone that's going to be able to sign off on it.
Right.
You know, some of the other things that people need to look at is you want to start asking that seller, what other obligations do you have? Have you considered filing bankruptcy? Have you considered a loan modification, or are you in the midst of a loan modification? Because all of those things can greatly impact your chances of a successful sale. And you're also going to want to take a look and know, are there any other liens against the property? HOA dues, back taxes. There's all kinds of questions. I think we said we're going to be compiling a list of the questions people should be looking at, and we're going to be posting that on s2neg.com as well.
Actually, that's correct. And we actually have interview questions here. So those of you agents that are new to the business, we actually have questions that we ask the homeowners. We enter into a dialogue while we're asking these types of questions. So if you need training on something like this to help up your own system or to set up your own system, we'll be happy to show you how to do that. I'm just, everything's so funny to me today. I don't know why. It's Friday. It's funny Friday to me.
Funny Friday.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I have to say on this.
That's all you got to say? Well then, until next time, we're going to retreat for the weekend, and we will catch you next week. Make it a good one.
All right. Thanks for stopping by.